Right now is the best time there's ever been to watch film, learn the corrections, coaching points, improve on your mistakes, and get better from that. With having no season, this gives all of us a lot of time to really break down all the techniques, all the skills we need to improve our game and take it to the next level where we want to see it going. In this video, I'm joined by my teammate, Thompson McCallum, who also coaches for the Junior Gales. Now, he's been playing and coaching football for a long time, so there's going to be a lot of good coaching points that you'll get to help you improve your game and learn something that you might not have otherwise. For those of you athletes out there that want more and you really want to take your game to the next level, make sure to check out the Instagram at Pick6 Athletics for even more workouts, film, content, speed, training, all that. And be sure that if you haven't already, to subscribe to this channel. We have a few new announcements coming out pretty soon and a lot of more content. So subscribe, click the notifications, and you don't want to miss that Mentality Monday tomorrow. First one, you got to start your week right, and let's get to it. So I'm with the man, Queens football, number 22, Thompson McCallum himself, Junior Gales coach, Woodlands, Champlain alumni. You know, he's been coaching DBs, playing DB for a really long time. He's kind of an old man right now, so he's got lots of good tips and different coaching points that you'll get throughout the video. Anything you want to say?
Me and Eric usually don't see eye to eye on DB technique on a lot of stuff, so this should be pretty interesting.
It should be good. You'll get both sides for some things.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. Okay, so we got the first clip right here. This is myself, yours truly. We'll see if I get exposed or not, but here we go with it. So I'll play it once, then we can go back and make the corrections. Oh yeah, pick. All right, so
like those.
I'll walk through this play, and then you can say some stuff, Thompson. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to show the receiver. I'm just at 5 yards right now. They're right before the snap. That's why you see my eyes are into the quarterback. Backing up, changing it up on him. You want to mess around with the receiver sometimes and not always give the same look, just so they don't really know what's going on. Because if you're out there and the receiver sees you line up in the same spot every time, or like he sees you line up somewhere, he's going to start thinking in his head what his move's going to be. Then, you know, when you mix it up, it messes him up. And especially when it's right before the snap, then he just doesn't know what he's doing right before. It might cause him to hesitate or not run a great route. So after that, and if you're doing stuff like this at your combines or pro days, camps like this, coaches will notice and they'll help you out. So matching his pace here, I barely moved back, just took a step really. I broke on him here. He didn't really give me much, so don't really know if I had to. But watch my right hand. I give him a little stab just to make sure I'm still on top of him. Then I kind of stack the receiver and be physical with him to push him off the line. And when you're physical with receivers and get them off their line, you're going to end up being where the ball is. Because if he's between receivers and quarterbacks, they practice timing and spacing a lot. So if the ball's meant to be on the line, then you bully him off the line, and you're on the line now, you're going to be in position to make the catch, just like I was. And I didn't even really have to fight for it or go up that much, because I got him off the line with his jab, then with bodying him out here. I got the pick. And if you notice at the end, because it is kind of a mind game, I give him he kind of gives up on the play, and I give him a little shove to the ground here. Cut that clip a bit, but yeah, I'll be physical with them.
So yeah, I like a lot of stuff Eric said is kind of what I was thinking. So here he's good. He doesn't very back off very much because the receiver doesn't really give him a really strong burst off the line, so he doesn't really have to back off. Here he's in great position. Again, he doesn't really have to break here. Like the receiver, you see...
He doesn't give me much.
Yeah. So here you see his hips are still square, moving forward. And even here, he's giving his little head fake, but...
I was just hungry for that ball.
How do you... there you go.
Annotate.
But yeah, you see his hips. This is where we should all... DB should be looking anyways.
Right.
His hips never turn in any direction, right? His hips are still facing forward. So that's where he's going to have to go when he goes to step.
Eyes on that leverage hit.
So, yeah. And then, oops. There we go.
Click exit for it. Oh, mouse might work, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So then on double moves like this is a really good job to be a little physical, slow him down. Like we said earlier, these routes are going to be time in a real game situation. The timing is going to be so important because if it's a double move, in the defense, we're going to be bringing pressure. We're going to think our linemen are about to get home. So if they have time to run 2 moves and then still stand back there and get that perfect throw off, then something's up with other parts of your defense. But here, see, to get them physical, bounce them off the line. In these situations, I want to try to either be physical, like Eric is here, by getting your hand in, or if it's a vertical route and there's not much space here, to try and like just win the route by just getting in front of him, right? Like if you can get in front of his chest, like here you're starting to stack him a little bit, like the way the receiver wants to do to you. Then you're gonna have like free range to make all the plays on the ball over here. Oops.
There's another play later. I get beat, but I stack them. So we'll see that. Go to quick drop here.
There we go. So yeah, if you're in front of him over here, then any ball in this... Oh my god.
I knew at this, huh?
There we go. Any ball out here now, you're going to be the first one to be able to get your hands on it, right? Because you have the inside position here, and you're going to be more in front of him. So any ball that's going to be thrown into this area is going to have to pass over your head to get to the receiver.
Yes,
so even if you just ran right beside him and didn't go up for the ball at all, the receiver is going to have a tough time to make this catch just because he's so close to the sideline, and he's going to have to jump over your body and make a really acrobatic catch to stay in bounds and to get that completion. So,
right. Remember, the sideline's your friend. If you can get him out of bounds or as close to it as you can, perfect. And if he makes that nice catch on the sideline, shit, you got to have that short-term memory and get ready for the next play.
Yeah, sometimes, a lot of quarterbacks is going to be a really tough throw. If they see you in this position, they might throw it to the back shoulder. So because you're on top, they're going to throw it a little behind, throw it over to here. So he has a little bit more space to make this catch. But either way, if they complete this one, it's going to take pretty much a perfect throw and catch. So if they do complete those, then thank you. Then you just gotta have a short-term memory and just know that you followed the right process. And if you keep making plays like that, then eventually you're gonna be getting some picks.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Push your receiver down.
Yes. Make sure he knows you won that one. Okay.
All right, next round. Just got a press man here. Speaker. Breaks it up.
Okay.
It's easy to just click it.
Yeah, facts.
That looks cool.
So, what I like with this rep, especially for press, and especially when I see a lot of younger players trying to press, the guys that I coach and stuff, one thing they always try to do right at the start here, this is really good patience to just make the receiver try to make the first move, right?
Right.
So usually I see a lot of young guys try and lunge forward and try and get their hands on as quickly as possible. But if you have a receiver who's good with their releases, or they're pretty quick, they're good with their hands, they might swat your hands away and get a easy quick release off of you because you're lean forward. So this is really good patience to he's still not even off the line of scrimmage.
Right.
So again, anytime you're working on one-on-ones, you want to work it like it's a real game time situation, right? So if he's going to spend an extra second or two on the line of scrimmage just trying to release you, his timing with the quarterback is going to be all messed up. And sometimes you can cover a guy just by being really good on that first couple steps in your press.
Right. And, it's good to mix up every once in a while. Like I was saying on the other clip, like sometimes you could be a bit more physical or jumpy at the start, but for a base, this is how you want to play it, mainly.
And I want you to watch, if you watch the feet here, this is really good to keep your feet moving, even if you're not going back, right? So if you look at his feet, he keeps them moving. He does that little hop. So that just keeps you in a good rhythm so that when it is time to go, you're not going from totally flat-footed into a sprint to try and cover your guy. So that's good job by him there.
Hey, if you like Coach Thompson's points so far, click a like on the video. And one thing about this though, he's doing a good job moving his feet. But what you want to do is not open your gate to run with him right away. If the DB here, Justin, took a little shuffle in front of the receiver and stayed square, then that just disrupted timing even more. Because remember, in press, you want to always get at least a shuffle in just to get the receiver off his original line and help mess up the timing between him and the quarterback. When you open the gate like this, it turns more into a trap meet. And if you can run with him, great. But when you move up in levels, athletes, guys get a lot faster, more athletic. So you want to make sure your technique's proper.
Yeah, that's a good point. So if you're going to... Here, I would like to see if he's going to open up to try and get a stab in.
Right.
So to use his arm just throw off the receiver a bit, try and get a jab in over here on his chest. Instead, he keeps his hands in. So either if you're going to keep your hands in, get a shuffle sideways. So he has to release even further outside of you, or try and get a little more physical with the hands when you transition, so that it's not so easy for him to get off the line. Because he delays him by just standing in front of him, but he could delay him even a couple steps more by being a little more physical or getting some lateral movement in before he opens up.
Yeah, be physical with it. If you're playing press it. Have fun with it too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now the top of the route here, he gets undercut. So you want to make sure your eyes are still low on the receiver. So you see this breakdown and you feel the receiver's left hand on your back. Then you put your right hand on him and you just are able to turn with him. When you get beat like this and you have to speed turn, the receiver could cut back the other way. It works out in this situation, but just be careful of outrunning him. You get me?
Yeah, for sure. So here, here you see he's already starting to move to be a little bit on top. So you can see his hips are ahead of the receiver's hips by about like half a yard right now. So if you're in phase with him even, then this is great. But if you're a little bit on top, you have to be aware that the receiver, if they're going to run an in-breaking route, they're going to try and club this arm away and then undercut you to move across the field, right?
Yo, this is a lot of good coaching points. There's 2 plays in this clip. I got like 30 clips from this day. Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely have a part 2 to this one.
A lot of stuff to break down. So
it's that good knowledge they don't always get in high school.
Yeah. So this is good. At the top of the route, you see he has his arm on. Always trying to. Anytime you're close enough to the receiver and you're holding your own space, you obviously never want to reach outside of your frame and leave it up to the refs to maybe throw a flag.
They'll throw it.
But when you're like here, he can feel the receiver's trying to cut across his face, right? Come across into the middle of the field.
Right.
So as the DB, you just want to hold your space and always try and, be a little more physical at the top of the route. He's got his arm on his back or sort of on his shoulder here. So that's all right. But again, when he starts to break and come across, you do want to be able to pull that arm away and then win the top of the route with your feet as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
great recovery on the play though. DB ends up making good play here. Speed turning quick, then being the receiver in front of the ball. If we let it play, I think he gets in front of it. Yeah, he takes that further angle to the interception point, which is not where the receiver is right now, but where he's going to be, where the ball's coming. So that's how you want to attack the play. Then good job making a play on the ball.
Yeah, again, that's a pretty good speed turn.
We were working on speed turns before this.
Yeah, you see how if you look at his left arm right here.
I hope coaching has sent these men a dog stamp.
If you watch how he uses his arm to turn his body around, it's pretty good. So the way he pulls it back and across, that's gonna pull that pulls his chest around, that gets his right shoulder around, and now he's able to have his eyes inside of the throw, and then from there it's just a good job to forget about the receiver. Like at this point, the ball's in the air, and he's just looking straight at the ball, and he's just going to make a play on that. So especially on the digs and stuff, you have to really beat him to the ball point.
See the ball in the air, it's your ball.
Yeah.
Ball hawk mentality.
Yeah, so that's a good rep. Another one here.
That's my receiver boy Dave. He plays at Western.
Okay, Dave.
Dave Johnson.
Oops.
Played with him in Warriors before. I was like, shit, this guy's nice.
All right, so again, the same thing here for the press. You said Dave plays at Western.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, you see he's had some good coaching. He knows he's gonna want to get a little bit of an outside release to run his comeback. So what's he gonna do? He's not gonna go straight to the outside so that the DB has a chance to beat him there. He's just gonna have a little. He does his little jab step inside to push the DB more to the inside to open up a little bit more space outside. So that's a pretty smart play by him for his release. So you see just this little couple steps, pushes the DB a little bit more inside, gets him to open up his hips, and then at that point he's in pretty good position.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about how the DB should have finished this rep?
Okay, let me see.
Because here he should have squeezed him, but this part.
Yeah, I mean, you never know as a DB. You're not going to have your eyes on the quarterback, so you never really know. That ball can always just be offline a little bit. Here it looks like he kind of just lets up a little bit at the end coming out of his break. He doesn't really drive out of it.
Get that tag off. If you're a coach watching this, what are you saying? You're recruiting.
Oh, yeah. If I'm a coach watching it to recruit or something at a, combines or anything like that, you always want to see guys finish the play. So here, he's still in decent position. Like, in a real game, like, where this ball is right here, he might be able to get his hand in there and punch that out, right? So at the very least, sometimes you're doing one-on-ones and stuff. You don't want to be overly physical and bring guys to the ground and stuff like that. But
practice safe.
Yeah, you always got to practice safe, keep your guys up. But he could definitely at least like get a tag off on the hip just so that, if you're a coach watching or anything, okay, this guy's there. Maybe didn't make a play on the ball, but, that catch and that gain is all they're getting. He's not going to turn that upfield on this guy.
Right. And you got to show you care, too. You're not doing it just to do the rep. You want to get better from it, and you got to make it a bit personal. You're trying to be great. You got to see that ball in the air and think that's your ball. And if the other guy gets it, you got to get to him, get him down. Because if you don't make the tackle, maybe no one does, and he gets a touchdown, wins a game, you got to take every rep seriously like that.
Yeah, anytime you're doing one-on-ones, like even if you're just out with your friends and it's not really a serious environment or anything, like it's always just about competition, just competing, just getting better, right? Like everyone, when you're doing one-on-ones, everybody's going to be watching your reps, seeing what you did right, what you did wrong. So just make sure you're out there just to compete and, don't want to ever have those couple lazy steps or anything like that.
Don't build the bad habits.
Yeah.
This one will be pretty quick.
Okay, let's see this one here. All right, so a little quick slant.
Pick six athletics exposed.
Yes, we get a pick six, gets beat across his face a little bit here. But again, one thing I think was pretty good was his tempo and his in the pedal here. So again, the receiver's not really showing him a really quick burst off the line. Like even just from these first steps, you can kind of tell like this guy's not running a fly, right? He's going to be breaking
lots
something
of short
off.
steps.
Yeah, the short steps. So you see as the DBs, we don't want to, pedal out really quick in those situations and just give him free space. So here...
Let's circle that bucket. A little bit of one.
Let's see.
Right there.
Yeah, a little bit. So this is not an easy break all the time. When you're moving a little slower, it should be a little bit easier. But if you watch the right foot here, first of all, anytime we're going to be breaking and moving to our right, you're going to be planting with your left, and you want to try and get that right foot. Like in this one, it's more up on a 45-degree angle, so you want to get the right foot a little bit in front of the left foot on your angle, so that that next step you can drive out and just be in a full sprint pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch the right foot here, where'd it go? And the circle won't follow it.
That's cool. I step behind myself.
You see here, so here, left foot is down on the ground. That's a good plant. So you want to get the right foot down like right, like about there, right? Just a little bit in front of you so that you're on a good angle. Instead though, you see it goes just a little bit behind.
And that's the inches right there. Football's a game of inches. You gotta get a lot of reps in, even if you're just working off millimeters at a time. But stay low, come out there quick.
Yeah, so you can see just from this one step being a little bit lateral, it really turns out to be like a couple steps where we're going more laterally, not downhill to make the play, right? So if you get that in front, then you can just drive down on it, and you're either going to make a play on the ball or get a big hit in there.
Right. All right, we'll go through these next ones quick. Definitely going to do part 2 with this play.
Go talk to the camera, bro.
I just did.
All right, so that was a pretty good finish there. Only thing I could really see on the first viewing of things, this one's a little more in the slot, so you see the receiver gets his little run up. Already I can see our DB here looks like he's a little bit uncomfortable with the speed off the line, right? So yeah, you see his heels are in the ground here. You see the toes coming up. You never want to be in that situation. That means that your weight is a little further back. Usually that's going to mean you're not really quite low enough in your stance. And then you see when he makes his break. So there you see a couple steps in a row again. The toes coming up. Like there you really see it's just heels in contact with the ground. So when he goes to make his break, you see again, you see his weight shifting backwards a little bit. And that's what gives the receiver just those little couple yards of separation. But unlike the last one with our guy here, this is a really good finish. So you see the receiver has a couple yards of separation on him. The ball isn't perfect. It's a little bit behind. He has to slow down a little bit. And all of a sudden we're there, able to make a play on the ball.
I was looking back and wanted to make a play. Lots of guys are scared and just keep watching the receiver too much. But
yeah, that's a good point. Like you don't have to play. I see a lot of guys like in one-on-ones really like panic when they give up like a.
Don't play not to get beat.
Yeah,
make some plays.
So there you see he has a couple yards on him, but he's not panicking, right? He's still trusting himself, and he's just like, it's all right. When the ball's in the air, I'm just gonna go make a play on this.
Yes, sir. All right.
So he gets his hands into the hands, ball pops up, and we get a pick. So never give up on those.
Talking shit.
Gary got pick 6 again.
Shuffle tech.
There we go.
I gotta be more patient with the when I got my hands on him, I gotta still move a bit back. I was too eager to turn, and I just got beat there. But the quick speed turn made up for it. Great job on the camera. This is what we're talking about before. You gotta win to where the ball's going. So I stacked the receiver here, and it's an overthrow. So even if the ball was in a better place, I'd be in the way to get it.
Yeah.
But where I messed up.
Go on.
Right here. I think I turned too early there. If I stay square and just keep moving my feet a bit more, I could have just opened up to my left and been with him.
Yeah, like you're in great position. You slowed him down with your hand being physical, but yeah, you don't really need to open up. You could just get another shuffle step to your right and just square him up, and then like this is like
That's
our
right there.
2 hands, 1 hand, no hands
Shout out Coach
drill.
Ben.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Ben.
Whoa.
So here, because he's right in front of you, like his hips are right in front of your hips, like you could just hit him, jam him with 2 hands here, and then if you do that, right, if you bring this hand and put it on his chest, then that's gonna bring this leg forward a little bit. Your whole body's gonna be squared up to him, and then he's gonna have nowhere to go really.
Right.
And then at that point, he's just gonna be stopped, and then you can both just move at the same speed from there. He doesn't really have the advantage of being sprinting at you anymore, right?
And not surprisingly, I'm gonna disagree a little bit. But I don't like going 2 at a time often, like especially if it's downfield. But I got my left hand, so shooting the right hand there would be great. because sometimes I feel like when you shoot two, it's just harder to open up either way. So just a quick left and then right jab that'll help me transition back the other way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And in this rep, I don't really get beat, but the danger with speed turns is that when you turn your back, he can make a different move that you don't see.
Yeah.
All right, go for
So
this
there,
hit.
the only one more thing. So here we see he's trying to still get in front of his receiver's chest, right? So same thing we saw on the double move down the sideline. If you get in front of your guy's chest, then that ball just becomes yours. So see here, the receiver has to break it a little flat because out of our speed turn, we're on top of it. So he doesn't really have the space to push it upfield and give his quarterback space to throw it. So normally what you see on the corner routes is the receiver tries to run it a little skinnier to keep you on the inside so that the quarterback has all this space to throw it.
Amazing insights.
Right? So here, because we're on top of him, they don't have that space. The receiver has to break it a little flatter. The quarterback wants to throw it more deep.
You should throw it under, but...
So yeah, quarterback probably should have threw this one more to the sideline.
Hey, we all make mistakes, though.
But yeah, good job to get back in front of it. And at this point, the receiver really can't make a play on that ball.
Right,
even if it was online.
Yeah, so oftentimes if he beats your inside shade, you might want to slip and get to his inside hip, because oftentimes when the receiver stems inside or goes inside, he's going to break that way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nice way to play the ball. Justin has some trouble timing it sometimes, so I recommend just staying with the receiver until you know like the ball's going to be where you're going.
So he's in good position here. He shoots his right hand, but he's open. The way he turns his left hip means he's not really going to be strong with that arm, right? If he stays a little more square and he shoots that arm, then that's going to get into his chest, and he's going to slow him down a bit, give himself a little bit more time to open up. But that's a good job to get inside. And yeah, just like Eric said, if you stay on the receiver's hip, the receiver's going to bring you to the ball.
Right.
So
good job making a play. Get some more catches in. It wait, run it back a bit. Listen to this shit. Play it.
Yo, you guessed. You guessed.
The receivers don't know we didn't guess. Inside release, we knew where it was going. But yeah, get some more catches in so those catches come more natural.
Alright, that's a nice one again.
This one's just like the one he got beat on before. Just feel the gear down a little bit more. Come with the receiver.
Yeah, that's all it is really. So you gotta feel when the receiver is gonna be slowing down. A lot of that comes with just having experience against the guys you're playing against, or you know, if you have access to it, watching their film and stuff. I find a lot of guys have little tiny things they do, little tells, you know, maybe a guy lifts his head up a little bit before he breaks, something like that, and then you can really beat him to it.
And we'll get a video out in a little bit, how to watch film, everything you should look at the breakdown. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of good content coming out soon.
Yeah, that's pretty good reps. Alright, that's the last play.
Yeah, that's it for it.
Always finish on a good win for the defense.
Alright, so a special shout out, thank you Thompson for all the great coaching points. There was a lot of knowledge throughout the whole video. If you watch the whole thing, great job for you. Make sure you like and subscribe because there's a lot more content coming out soon. We're definitely going to have to do a part 2 to this video. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, weather's starting to get cold, the winter's coming, but that doesn't mean you can't, you know, still work on your game. So watching stuff like this, watching film, DB breakdowns and stuff, there's a lot of great stuff all over YouTube, Instagram, wherever. So keep working on your craft, even when it's too cold to get out there and do your breaks and all that.
All right, perfect. Well, there you have it. There was a lot of great coaching points and insights brought from myself and Thompson. And if you want more, if you want to keep improving your game, you just watch this long video. You already got your learning cap on. So be sure to check out this film breakdown for even more. Now it's only Sunday. Make sure you go have a great week, kill it, and start creating your legacy.